The number systems, well, the number actually, I was mentioning that the RC community has been behind the stake of piloting RC crafts and driving rough terrain vehicles. It is not a strange idea that to touch on the subjects that the mind is above matter. Number actually is above the compounds of the batteries. And this is the idea that you use a higher priority system to override a lower priority system. In this case, it's the battery that is the lower class object, the lower class objectives. So the battery is also the heart of the vehicle. To follow stuff through in order, a second modification is when the circuits, they call it I believe, if I'm correct, is the rectifier. They connect a rectifier. Recently, I discovered that before and after electricity enter the DC motor and go out the DC motors, a star-shaped coil has been connected in the same manner to force the energy into a certain favorable frequency before it enters the DC motor, connected in a series order. What you see is exactly what has been done. It's not in parallel, because electron would likely to choose a low resistance path, and certainly electron would avoid certain part of the coil, and I do not believe that is sufficient enough. So that two multiplications adds together is a very big plus to the overall performance, and you would never thought that it's a DC motor, and you would never want to drive anything else once you hear the motor noise. And this is something that you need to experience yourself. This is just a suggestion. So since it's an X series, this is a cutting edge in design. This is the B-Man. B-Man is a X-class coil. B-Man itself do not take forms, and B-Man itself do not take shapes. It's a concept. Well, concept is concepts till you put it in practice and realistically solve problems. Otherwise, it remain concepts, and you better hang it on the wall and, like a picture flames, stare at it. Most of the times, the hardware stared at us. We stare at the hardware, and they do nothing. A B-Man is specifically designed for flight, and B-Man is a way that you can look inside how infinity regulates itself. Now there is a X-class coil. B-Man actually is a conjunction coils. It takes the forms of X shapes. This is why it's called the X-class coils. And now there is 3 examples of B-Man, these flight class coils. This, you see the orange line has been increased. The red lines in proportion decrease. The orange line decreased in a proportionally. The red lines increased in this case, And the third example is the orange lines and the red line hold constant the whole time, remain unchanged. In this case, you can shift beamends to whatever directions you desire. Actually, this design is very flexible. Now we look into this case is that infinity regulates itself when you increase the top parts. Mechanically, you decrease the lower parts. You see here. Now, in this case, infinity, you lower the volume of the top parts. This case, infinity regulates itself by increasing back the lower parts of the volumes. This case, you just simply shift over the beamend coils to a new coordinate and new positions, and you minus some things, you plus some things. So the application of beamend and how it put into practice is this. Say for instance, this is an angle. Since beamend is a coil of conjunctions, an angle of a square or whatever shape, such as a triangle, hexagon, or a pentagon. Now, if this example is a square, and that is a square, beamend do not take form and shapes. It's a concept that relate to infinities. So you can see it can be physically constructed, since it is well in blueprint, and it can be constructed and it can be put together. So the idea is you increase the beamend constructions, your objective will be decreased, which in this case is the square. So to conclude, the file name is Folland, and X-Shark will deliver the conclusions in setting sun plottings, and X-Sharks will carry out the ending films. So it's the pleasure of the RC communities to present this video. Thank you very much.